On June 23, 2025, Johnny Noviello, a 49-year-old Canadian citizen and longtime U.S. permanent resident, met a gruesome, preventable end in the cold, unforgiving confines of a Miami ICE detention center. His death, marked by neglect, systemic failure, and a chilling disregard for human life, is a tragedy that lays bare the catastrophic consequences of the Liberal government's reckless immigration policies and their spineless refusal to confront the realities of cross-border enforcement. This is not just a story of one man's demise, it's a savage indictment of a government that has blood on its hands, leaving Canadians vulnerable to foreign systems and their own citizens to rot in cages. Johnny Noviello wasn't a saint, but he was human, a man with dreams, flaws, and a medical condition that demanded care. Born in Canada, he moved to the U.S. in 1991, building a life as a permanent resident for over 3 decades. By all accounts, he was a man trying to navigate a world that wasn't always kind. Court records reveal he battled epilepsy, a condition requiring consistent medication to prevent life-threatening seizures. His criminal record, while not insignificant, tells the story of a man caught in the opioid crisis's grip: a 2023 conviction in Volusia County, Florida, for racketeering, trafficking oxycodone and hydrocodone, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. He served his time, 12 months in county jail, and was on probation, trying to rebuild. But Johnny's story isn't just about his mistakes. It's about a system and a Canadian government that abandoned him to a brutal fate. His lawyer, Daniel Lysing, confirmed that while in county jail, measures were in place to ensure Johnny received his epilepsy medication. Yet, when ICE snatched him on May 15, 2025, at a Florida probation office, that lifeline of care vanished into the abyss of bureaucratic indifference. On June 23, 2025, at 12:54 p.m., Johnny Noviello was found unresponsive in his cell at the Federal Detention Center in Miami. The details are as chilling as they are infuriating. ICE officers, supposedly trained to monitor detainees, stood by as Johnny's life slipped away. Medical staff attempted CPR and used an automated external defibrillator, but it was too little, too late. By 1:36 p.m., Miami Fire Rescue pronounced him dead. The cause? Still under investigation, with ICE conveniently hiding behind a 90-day window to release a report. But let's not kid ourselves, Johnny's epilepsy and the lack of proper medical care in ICE's hellish detention system are the prime suspects. Was Johnny denied his medication? Did ICE ignore his medical history, as they've done with countless others? The silence from U.S. authorities is deafening, and the Canadian Liberals' response is even more pathetic. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand didn't even know about Johnny's death until June 26, 3 days later, when consular officials were finally notified. 3 days. That's how little they cared about one of their own. Let's cut through the noise and lay the blame where it belongs. Squarely at the feet of Justin Trudeau's Liberal government. For years, their open-border rhetoric and weak-kneed diplomacy have left Canadians like Johnny Noviello exposed to the merciless machinery of U.S. immigration enforcement. The Liberals' refusal to negotiate robust protections for Canadians in U.S. custody, or to demand accountability from ICE, is nothing short of criminal negligence. Under Trudeau's watch, Canada has failed to secure bilateral agreements that could prevent tragedies like this. Why wasn't there a system in place to ensure Johnny's medical needs were met in ICE custody? Why did it take 3 days for the Liberals to even acknowledge his death? The answer is simple: they don't care. Their obsession with projecting a globalist, compassionate image has blinded them to the real-world consequences of their inaction. While they sip lattes in Ottawa and pat themselves on the back for diversity, Canadians like Johnny are left to die in foreign jails. The Liberals' immigration policies have also emboldened U.S. authorities to treat Canadian citizens as collateral damage in their deportation crusades. Johnny's 2023 conviction made him a target under the Trump administration's hardline immigration crackdown, which prioritizes deporting anyone with a criminal record, no matter how minor or how long they've lived in the U.S. But where was Canada's diplomatic muscle to protect its citizen? Nowhere. The Liberals have spent years cozying up to progressive ideals while ignoring the need for hard-nosed negotiations to safeguard Canadians abroad. Johnny's death wasn't an isolated incident, it was the 10th in IC custody in fiscal year 2025. 10 lives snuffed out in less than a year, each one a testament to the barbaric conditions in ICE's detention centers. Advocacy groups have long sounded the alarm. Medical neglect, overcrowding, and a culture of indifference plague these facilities. Detainees are treated like animals, their basic human rights trampled under the guise of enforcement. Johnny, with his epilepsy and need for medication, was a sitting duck in this environment. Yet, the Liberals did nothing to pressure the U.S. to reform its detention practices or ensure Canadians receive proper care. They've turned a blind eye to reports of ICE's failures, from inadequate medical screenings to outright denial of life-saving treatments. The blood of Johnny Noviello stains their hands, and no amount of hand-wringing press releases from Anita Anand can wash it away. As Johnny's body lay cold, the Canadian government's response was a masterclass in apathy. Anand's statement, issued days too late, promised urgent inquiries but offered no concrete action. No demands for justice. No calls for an independent investigation. Just empty words from a government that's mastered the art of dodging accountability. Johnny's family, left to grieve in Canada, deserves answers. Was his medication withheld? Did ICE ignore his medical history? Why wasn't Canada's consulate in Miami on top of this from day one? The Liberals' silence speaks volumes. They'd rather sweep this under the rug than admit their failures. Johnny Noviello's death is a wake-up call. It's time for Canadians to demand better from their government. The Liberals' soft-on-sovereignty approach has left citizens vulnerable, their lives expendable in the face of foreign systems. We need a government that fights for its people, that ensures no Canadian is left to die in a foreign detention center without proper care. This tragedy could have been prevented. Stronger diplomatic protections, proactive consular intervention, and a government that actually gives a damn could have saved Johnny's life. Instead, the Liberals' cowardice and incompetence have cost a man his future, his family their loved one, and Canada its dignity. Let Johnny's story be a rallying cry. Demand accountability. Demand justice. And above all, demand a government that puts Canadians first, before it's too late for someone else. Power's sexy, deception's deadly, and politics? Always messy. High stakes, higher lies, and corruption. Power isn't taken, it's bought. Politics has never been so dirty, and baby, we're just getting started. Until the next scandal, XOXO.